Hey guys, it's me, Derek, and Andrew.
Yep.
Right now we're actually gonna be talking about TV scheduling and stuff, which he's actually gonna be taking the lead on this one right now. So
Yeah. This is because I thought maybe I thought a couple of times that what if them Nature Boys had a TV channel? So this is how it would go that I have written down. It's just basic uh, stuff on scheduling, like how it like we TV started in like the 1920s as experiments and stuff.
which has actually come a long way into
Oh
the
yeah.
digital realm.
And then scheduling didn't really start until 1936, I guess,
Hmm.
around there. But that was only like prime time. They'd only show TV between like here, the Eastern Coast, like 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. It's the only time they'd show anything. And now TV's on all the time, 24/7.
Yeah, they got a whole bunch of different shows, thousands
Yeah,
and stuff.
thousands and thousands. Like, here's how typical uh, television channel might schedule things with starting at midnight a late fringe, then 1 a.m. post late fringe. I don't know what that is, but I guess it's just a time block for them to put
Hmm.
anything they want.
Right.
Like, because 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. is the graveyard block shift thing.
Yeah, because everybody's still sleeping. You
Yeah,
barely getting up
I'll
about like 5.
talk about everything in detail later. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. is the early morning. Then
Hmm.
10 to 4:30 is daytime. 4:30 to 7:30 is early fringe. 7:30 starts prime time. Well, prime, not prime time, but prime access, which means getting into prime time. Then you got prime time 11, well, 8 to 11. Then 11 to 11:30 would be late night. And it goes back to the post, late
Yeah.
fringe. But typically, uh, like say back in the day, the TV channel starting at say 6 a.m. with like morning news or whatever. It would start with a sign on, which would be, when it starts, uh, you'd have the test pattern thing with, see the one with
Yeah,
like the
the
Indian
lines.
head with the
Yeah.
circle, or
Yep.
later with the color bars.
Yeah, that would indicate either the switch on or the switch over or anything like that.
Yeah, I would usually start with that and then go into the national anthem with a little montage of like America or whatever. Because we're just doing American TV. In other
Yeah,
countries, it would be their national anthem and
yeah,
stuff like that. Um, an ownership, good morning, contact information thing. Like they'd say who owns the channel.
yeah. Like, good morning. This is CNBC or
Yeah,
HBO or whatever. Then would be the title of what's showing
no, it would be the
or
contact info for
contact info.
like
Yeah.
how to reach
Yep.
them, like phone number, address, and
Yep.
that stuff. And then there would be a little prayer
Lord
of
help
some
us.
sort. Yeah. Then it would be a programming guide, like what's going to be on today, with a disclaimer about, if the shows are live or if they're taped,
Yep.
and but legal info, disclaimers. And then it would go into the station ID and like a jingle or a slogan, like do or whatever,
Yeah.
and like whatever the channel's logo is and whatever the channel name is. Then it would probably go into the morning news, which is news in the morning.
Yeah. Usually around like 6 or 6 or 7. depending on where you're at.
Early morning stuff,
Yeah.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. news. Then the daytime block, soap operas and game shows like The Price is Right.
Yep. Or some areas be football or whatever.
Yeah, depending on what day it is and
Yeah.
stuff. Like they'd have this like, say a Wednesday, they'd have like a soap opera or game show or talk show like Oprah or Dr. Phil, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Then they go into like the lunchtime news at noon.
Yeah. Yeah, like the weather forecast or how the conditions are outside, or pretty much let you know how the day's going on so far.
Yeah, and then would go into according to my notes, prime time. But no, there'd be the early fringe, which is just a bunch of filler. So just put shows up until prime time happens. No real distinguishing on what would be happening.
Right.
Because then it would go into prime time, where you have your prime time shows. The shows everybody wants to watch, everybody talks about.
Yeah. Mainly sports, I think, right?
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
sports,
Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes not sports, like a drama or a comedy or an action thing.
Right.
Then it would go into the late night news that would cover everything that went on that day, and like the weather report for the next day, or something's happening the next day. Talk about that stuff.
Hmm.
Then we'd go into late night talk shows, like or variety shows, like old comedy variety shows or
Hmm.
late night talk shows like Jim Carson or whatever. That would go straight to the graveyard shift.
Yeah.
Originally, back when TV was starting and stuff, after they did the prime time block and moved on to showing more stuff, sometimes some channels actually would show cricket or Nippon or Philippine basketball games.
Hmm.
They'd show like sports and stuff from other countries that are, when we're going to bed, it's like midday for them.
Yeah.
I mean, graveyard shift is,
Yeah. Due to time difference in like other countries, it'd be like our 5 a.m. to their 2 p.m. or whatever.
yeah, middle of the night here, middle of the day there, kind of thing. So they'd show some of that stuff until around the 1980s, when they would start to show old movies and reruns of shows
Hmm.
during those hours. Because most people wouldn't be awake then, or they'd be too drunk to care, because they're just coming home from the bar.
Hmm.
You're either at work, away from the TV, because you're trying to sleep, or you're sleeping, or you just got home from the bar, so you don't really care.
Yeah.
Or infomercials.
Yeah, pretty much your everyday commercials about like
Buy this product.
cleansing or whatever, so weight loss programming, stuff like that.
Yeah. Uh, Infomercials. You don't see a lot, too many late night anymore. Like they don't. A lot of channels don't start showing them until like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And they go from like 3 in the morning until like 9 or 10. Depending on their blocks, which is weird, but
yeah, they usually try to get it to where everybody's up and
yeah,
more likely to actually see them, so that way they'll actually get more buyers or anything
Well,
like
no,
that.
they just throw them up at night because that's the only time they used to be able to get.
Yeah,
And
that
now
too.
they've kind of shifted the times depending on what channel, really. Like some might have the infomercials during the normal, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. slot
Yeah.
or whatever, and some might have it a little later, depending on who owns it and whatnot. And back then, they do a sign off, which is like the sign on, but like backwards, where they do the jingle on the station ID. Uh, and they do like if something big happened in the news, they'd tell you about that, tell you about the weather and what's going to be on TV the next day. Do the disclaimers, do the prayer, and sign off. Right before they turn off with the test patterns, they do the national anthem. Be all like, have a good night, America. Turning the TV off. Test pattern static. Nothing's on. I'm gonna do a couple of television programming words, things, I guess, like hammocking. It's not like going out and laying in a hammock.
Yeah. They're talking about putting one good show on and then having a somewhat decent show or something that's just beginning in the middle. And then having another good show that everybody would watch at the end. Just so that way that one show will actually
hopefully get popular.
Hopefully get seen, and that way, by putting the two shows, basically those are your trees or posts. Then hammock, a decent show right in the middle, just so that way hopefully it'll actually catch on.
Yeah, hopefully people won't change the channel. Keep watching to catch the third show. If they want to watch the first one, then the third one. So they'll just stay there and end up watching the second show.
Yeah.
And there's hot switching, which we see a lot nowadays, which is where they like skip commercials, or you see it a lot at the end of shows. They'd like skip over the credits to start another episode.
Yep.
Really fast. So you get hooked into watching this next one. Keep watching, and there's always theming and blocking. Themes of stuff like Shark Week, where it's all about sharks, or
like Animal Planet, or I mean, even with like some of the channels that are on like Discovery or National Geographic, pretty much they go with a theme of what either the channel is or what week it is, so that way it's all about
or just that. Blocking's pretty much the same thing, where it would just be like a block of one show, like a marathon of something.
Yeah, like Marathon of NCIS or CSI or whatever.
Or like this 2 episodes of NCIS, then 2 episodes of CSI, then Law and Order or whatever, blocking like that, where it's it's on every day at a certain time and stuff.
Yeah, so that way alright, you can actually plan on this or that, or
watching this and that,
whatever.
In the 1976 VHS tapes came out, so you can like record shows off that, and then DVDs in the 90s, and DVRs, so you could end up recording your shows.
Yeah, that way if you're not going to be home, you know what time it's going to be on, and just sets a timer, so that way it'll actually record it, so that we can come home later and actually watch it through that.
And now we got it so you can watch it on your phone or your tablet.
Yep, pretty much anywhere you go.
On demand.
Yep.
Got a lot of streaming stuff like Netflix and everything like that.
Yep. YouTube, Cricket, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Or Crackle.
Crackle, that's
Yep.
it. Yeah, where you just watch it right there.
Yeah. But yeah, nowadays you actually have a little bit more to actually work with. More
Yeah.
recording time, something that's actually easier to transport,
Mm-hmm.
smaller, but holds more memory. Um, so yeah, as far as like TV and technology goes, it's come a long way. Um, technological advancements in that, as well as other things too. But that's like one of the major things right now
Yeah.
is in TV and that kind of
Streaming
industry and
stuff.
streaming. Yeah,
Like
definitely.
sometimes they make it so you can watch an episode early on their website or on their app,
Mm-hmm.
or you go to their app and you can stream a show that you want to watch. And some channels make it so you have to watch it like on TV first,
Yeah.
and then you can watch it on demand later,
Yeah.
just to keep TV more alive
Yeah. Have
in
the
some sort.
access points so that way it's like all right, they go through channels like TV, then whatever,
Mhm.
then it comes out on DVD or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, they can't see the antenna that's up there.
Yeah, we some TVs do have antennas. They've actually upgraded those to have
Yeah, they.
better reception and branch out a little further.
I think in like 2008 or 2009, they switched over from like the bunny ear TV antennas to digital antennas for HD.
Yeah,
So now all you can still get the antennas,
the bunny
the bunny
ears or
ears,
halos or
the
anything like
circle
that.
halos, but they're
Yep.
just digitalized, so it goes to HD now.
Yep.
Straight to HD for your HD
Yeah,
TVs.
HD meaning high
High
definition.
definition, yeah. There's different types of the antennas, like smaller, square ones, and the
Yeah, they
halo
got the
bunny ears.
the flat one so that way you can just stick it on a wall or near a window so that way it hides itself pretty well, or you can even put it right on the back of your TV, even, and nobody's gonna even notice.
And I saw a commercial for this one that's like a USB drive, and then like a car radio antenna goes straight up. You just plug it in the back, and then you
Yeah, it
get your
just sticks.
channels.
Yep.
Straight that way. It just picks up air channels, which is just mainly your local stuff.
Yeah, local stations like weather or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of channels, but
Better than nothing.
you're not paying like anything for it besides watching the ads that'll play during commercials, 'cause that pays for everything there.
Mm-hmm.
Different antennas of different sizes get different reception.
Yeah.
Obviously, your smaller ones aren't going to be as good
powerful.
as a bigger one.
Right.
Like here, we got a small. There you can't see, but it's just a small box one, maybe that big,
Yeah.
and it's hooked up into a little box before it goes into the TV. And the box is an amplifier, which is supposed to help amplify how much range the antenna gets.
Yeah.
Then I've got an outdoor antenna, which those usually pick up more channels.
Yeah, they got
a higher strength.
Yep. And those are usually on the roof most of the time.
Or just like outside the window by the TV. But it all depends on, where the closest major city is. So you'd aim your antenna that way. And that's how all TV was, through the antenna.
Yep.
And then they got cable. And now we got satellite stuff.
Yep.
But that's about it for the scheduling, except for if we had a Nature Boy like TV channel, what we would show.
Yeah.
Probably like outdoors, kind of hunting and fishing shows.
Yeah,
And,
pretty much how to like survive, what to build, how to use certain tools and stuff like that.
yeah, like survival shows or
Yeah,
hunting and fishing shows.
yeah,
And
kind of like
whatever.
Survivor Man, Dual Survival, stuff like that.
Yeah, or just what's on public domain,
Yeah,
which is a different subject for a different time.
yep, and that's something we'll actually hit on later. So,
Yeah, I think that's about it for
yep.
scheduling.
So
See
we'll
ya.
catch you guys later.
Yep.